I'm going to be discussing something called Mooltrikona sign. So planets obviously have their exaltation sign, which is like the highest level of dignity. And then they have Mooltrikona, and then they have own house. And obviously they could be in a friendly house after that. They could be in a neutral condition or in enemy sign or debilitated. So these are the conditions. But obviously, exaltation signs for all the planets. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn, Venus is exalted in Pisces, Moon is exalted in Taurus, Mercury is exalted in Virgo, uh, Venus we talked about, Sun is exalted in Aries, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. And Saturn will be the last planet, and it will be exalted in Libra. I'll have a video on those. You can go and see, and I'll tell you about all the degrees as well that they are actually exalted at, exact degrees. And I talk about all the sort of relationships between planets and how you see all of those. Now, Mooltrikonas are very interesting because Mooltrikona is if the house of obviously all the planets apart from the luminaries, so Moon rules Cancer and Sun rules Leo. But the other planets, the other 5 planets, they all rule 2 houses. So for example, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, Venus, Libra and Taurus, and Mercury, Gemini and Virgo. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and also Pisces, and Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. The Mooltrikona signs for the planets are as follows. So we have, I'll just get this just to make sure that I get these wrong. So Aries is the Mooltrikona sign of Mars, but it's only in the first 0 to 12 degrees of Aries is Mooltrikona. That just means, Mooltrikona means the planet works at a really, really high level. In fact, I actually think personally, it's a personal thing, as good as an exalted planet is, Mooltrikonas are even better to me because the planet is in its own environment, but in a stronger. Say, for example, this is how I would describe it. So Mooltrikona will be your home, and your other house, if say, for example, for Mars, so Mooltrikona sign will be Aries, and he also rules Scorpio. So Scorpio could be like a holiday place by the river, but the home, the real home, true home, where things are really happening, or their head office, or whatever you want to call it, will be in Aries, and it'd be 0 to 12 degrees. And then we have Moon. Moon is between 3 and 30 degrees of Taurus, is the Mooltrikona degrees of the Moon. Leo will be 0 to 20 degrees, will be the Mooltrikona sign of the Sun, 4 degrees. And Virgo, between 15 and 20 degrees of Virgo, will be Mercury's Mooltrikona. And 0 to 15 degrees is Venus's Mooltrikona degrees in Libra, and Sagittarius 0 to 10 degrees are Jupiter's Mooltrikona, and 0 to 20 degrees in Aquarius is Saturn's Mooltrikona. Now, Mooltrikonas make a massive difference. So, for example, if somebody has a Raja Yoga and includes a planet that is in its Mooltrikona degree, or, because obviously big chunks of the sign are, whereas like the exaltation is literally so many, 1 degree, then that planet is going to be working highly focused, highly intelligently for you. So I'm going to just share a couple of charts for you, and we shall see that. These also really give a very, very strong result to any yoga that they form, any Raja yogas or Mahaprusha yogas, they're all going to be absolutely amazing. So here we have Elvis Presley's chart. So Elvis Presley has is a Scorpio ascendant, as you can see, and the ruler of his third and fourth house is Saturn, and Saturn is at 2 degrees 47 of Aquarius here. Actually, let me just change this. So for those of you who use North Indian, yeah, so you can see in the fourth house you have Saturn in its Mooltrikona sign. So that in itself is telling me that that Saturn is not a Saturn that's like at 28 degrees of Aquarius or 10 degrees of Capricorn. It is in a really, really strong sign. And therefore, and fourth house is, he was really, really close to his mom. I mean, they used to speak on the phone every single day. He absolutely adored his mum. And also he's got the moon there as well. So not only was he close to his mum and adored his mum, he was totally heartbroken when she passed away. And he literally, his mental health started really declining after the loss of his mum. But moon being there with Saturn obviously had given him some issues with mind. But also moon is like the masses, homeland, you know, and he was such a massive pioneer of musical taste change in the world. So he literally changed everything. So that moon being there, sitting in the also in the Mooltrikona degrees of Saturn, gives him massive he has what they call Sasha yoga, which is another Mahaprusha yoga as well. So this is like literally as good as it can get, really. So it's a yoga of greatness. And also the moon is ruling his ninth house, is in the fourth house. A Raja yoga formed as well. And then moon and Saturn together also gives him a very, very fantastic Raja yoga. So that's Elvis Presley. And now let's go to Catherine Zeta-Jones. Again, let me just should have done this before. So we have, she is a Gemini ascendant. So she's ruled by Mercury. The first house ruler is exalted. Look at that. He's exalted in the fourth house. 15 degrees to 20 degrees of Virgo is Mercury's, Mooltrikona degrees. So there you go, bang in the middle, 17 degrees 22. It's absolutely amazing. So, and she has enjoyed success at home and also at abroad as well. So it's a really, really nice degree. And actually, I think I've made the mistake there about but she's kind of she's Gemini ascendant, but I can see the timing there is just flipped for some reason. I should change that, because I think her moon is definitely in Pisces there. Yeah, she's got a full moon, so this is changed. So I should change that, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't move the ascendant or the Mercury. So yeah, so as you can see, she has got an exalted Mercury in her fourth house. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to stop sharing now. So that makes so she has also got a Bhadra yoga, which is one of the Mahaprusha yogas as well. So that just means yoga of greatness. And she's obviously very well respected Hollywood actress. And it's also the first house ruler in the fourth. So that makes that yoga really, really strong. So that's it. It's always, I think it's really good to also just realize that Mooltrikona's degrees are very, very important to really support the actual chart of a person. And I think Mooltrikona, what it does is sometimes it's not as, out there like an exalted planet will be. You will know if somebody has if you know somebody who's got exalted sun, you know about them, because they are very, very aware of what's right for them. And they, you know, but somebody who's got sun in their Mooltrikona sign, it would be very different. They'd be much more behind the scenes. You know, it's completely different energy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.